Here's the deal. Welcome to my June and July notes video from the car. I have 15 minutes because I drove here to pick up new business cards. I love doing printing service related stuff in my hometown because it's so much cheaper than New York City. And I came and realized that these people in the small town love to do like long lunch breaks and this, that. So I'm just waiting because they're not here. But apparently they'll be here in 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm gonna finish up some of my fish because it's raw fish and it's hot, so I don't want to leave it in the car. I had lunch with an old friend and it's been like 3 years since we talked, but she also only had so much for her lunch break, so I had to drop her back off at work, and now I'm gonna finish my food. I thought I was gonna finish this later, but I didn't expect the post office, or not post office, the print shop to be closed. And I thought, oh my gosh, am I gonna be eating fish with my hands? But I had a fork in my bag. Okay, you know what? This is not gonna work. I can't chew and talk. Do this later. So, I don't just carry around forks in my bag. My boyfriend put it there. More context to come. So, it's actually really bright out. I started June and I am ending July in Bay Area in California. I was actually here for San Jose Made, which is a really cute festival of makers and stationery designers and all of that kind of stuff. I didn't realize it was going to be outdoors, so that was actually the worst experience ever. My sister was the one who applied for it, and it was 95 degrees. We almost didn't even bring a tent because we weren't prepared, but I got one last minute, and I guess you can say trauma bonding. Like, my mom and I sat through it. I told her she could go to the mall and walk around in AC, but she said, why? Like, I'm not gonna leave you. What's the point? This is what I'm here for. So it's very sweet, you know, to come of that. And the second day was way better. So I think that kicked off my summer of vendor markets with, you know, you want to start with the worst. So it kicked it off with a terrible experience that made it feel like every other experience after that was great because you have this kind of comparison point. I'm not shitting on SJ Made because they're actually one of my favorite places to attend. It was just like we were on the grass with no shade, nothing. It was so hot. So I wasn't surprised that not a lot of people showed up to our area. Everybody was like in the alley of trees and I was so jealous. Really random. I feel like I don't have a lot to see when I'm back in the Bay Area because I'm still stuck in this mode of like, oh, it feels like when I'm younger and I want to maybe bring friends or like bring my partner here to see it through their eyes. And everybody talks about how the nature and hiking is so beautiful here, but I haven't really made time or effort to go and see that. The one thing I did see during that trip here was I drove my mom's tiny little car on accident into the way station. You know, like those massive trucks. It's been a minute since I've driven in California, and on the highway I found myself accidentally at a way station. I've tricked a Prius into coming with me. So I tricked both of us. I'm sorry. He looked like a software engineer. He was very, very confused and distraught because we were like sandwiched between these trucks. So that was a new experience. I just really felt the need to tell you that. And then when I went back to New York, I got to meet one of my favorite artists and definitely my favorite YouTuber. Look who it is. Hello. It's the one and only Purple Palace. I've been watching Shayna for probably 7 years. She is a Paris-based artist, musician, painter, poet, and she also did a lot of art school related content, and I don't really know at which point we started connecting, but I just feel like what I was really drawn to in her videos was like the level of detached, kind of like not caring so much about what people think and pursuing what you really want to do in life. And I think that's what a lot of her community like follow her for. So I think every time I need like a spiritual and artistic pick-me-up, I really just spend time. I log on to Purple Palace on YouTube and I just spend time watching her vlogs and listening to her thoughts. And she's one of the most intelligent, like emotionally intelligent as well, and concise, confident speakers. So she's truly changed a lot of my life trajectory. Like, she gave me a lot of the confidence I didn't have at the moment to go out and dare and try and do things that you might think are cringy, and just to do it anyway. So she's truly so inspiring. And at the moment, she was like on tour in New York for a concert, so she took the time on a Monday when my shop was closed to paint with me. We traded paintings, and she has a painting in my bedroom that I look at every morning when I wake up. So it's truly like the highlight of the month, and I can't wait to go visit her in Paris. It'll be my turn soon. So I started a new hobby. So speaking of painting and like taking, I guess, my days off to do more art, I was just telling Shayna how, like, yeah, I've had my studio, but it only feels like that in the most recent months have I really truly started to enjoy it, because I think in the past I was just like way too much angst, way too much anxiety in survival mode to really truly embrace and take ownership of the space. And I was like kind of ashamed in a way of claiming taking up so much space, like having so much space for myself, and like not understanding how to really embrace that. And now I kind of see it as, oh, this is a luxury. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that I earned this, that I keep this going, that my family, my community, they're all together to support this. And I can't wait to just use this to fuel back into my artistic endeavors. And that's so fun. Like, I'm just really grateful. I don't know what else to say there. Like, I've been painting, and I finished a couple of my favorite oil painting commissions recently. I do mostly pet portraits, and I love infusing like colors into them, but I have a couple of upcoming gigs that are like people. So I'm kind of nervous, but I also know that when you're nervous, it's good, because it just means you're ready to level up, you're ready to test yourself and to try something new. And my mom had told me this many times throughout college, of when something scares you, you know that you should do it, because if you can predict the outcome and completely see it through, it's probably not worth doing, or it's not going to actually satisfy you. So one of the fastest commissions I executed was like this cityscape of New York City, and there were all these people, and I pulled it off in just like 2 sittings because I was traveling and I really wanted it done by the client's ask date. So I do feel like with every new project that I sign on to, and I'm so like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm gonna do like this, it ends up feeling like, wow, I developed a lot, because I challenged myself artistically. I gave myself the opportunity to show up and to like grind, I guess. Like, okay, do this, focus, do this, you can do it. And the aftermath is confidence. So I've heard this many times, that confidence doesn't come before doing a task. It's actually the, what do you call it? The byproduct of you attempting new things. So I think it's funny how I was talking about my hobby and I was talking about like monetizing it, because I love doing that. But that's kind of just like the way I am. I'm very entrepreneurial. I'm very like business brain minded. And I think if you're not going to have a more conventional, secure path and having like a salary, then I can't help but always try to think about how different things I do can bring it back to my living and bring it back to something that I can leverage, because low-key I'm just trying to make it through life without having to do some really boring office job. So I would rather have a brand that thinks more like this and like monetizes everything than feel like I don't have the freedom and I have to give up my creative energy and like the aggression I have to want to attempt a lot of things. But speaking of, I think like when it comes to hobbies, I'm like, my hobbies still serve a greater goal, because like I've been doing ceramics, I've been doing paper mache, and it really brings me so much joy. Like I would just turn on a documentary and I'll be doing this and it'll be quiet in the studio, I'll just be the only one, and then I know that, okay, whatever I do, like I can fuel whatever I make. If I have like a new ceramic piece, something in it would inspire me to design something else, and that's really cool. So if you ever suffer from creative burnout, just switch up the medium, because being creative in a different skill set will actually help you find new ideas for the original thing that you're struggling with. So another thing that I loved in June, I'm not gonna go into it, but I had a 1-year party, and I'm really grateful that at this point people in my life have convinced me that like it is really important to celebrate yourself and to do it wholeheartedly. So I'm so glad that I put in the work. Like I almost didn't want to do the party or create the merchandise because I didn't have the cash to do it, but my boyfriend was like, you should definitely do this and I will loan you the money if you don't have it. So I went through and created these silkscreen custom 1-year anniversary shirts that everyone really liked. That was so fun. And the day after the 1-year party, we had a little party at home just because we just like to do like monthly get-togethers, as you know. So June was all about tea ceremony, or like a afternoon tea, but a little more Asian instead of like English foods. So we decorated the table with our curtain and I stacked the plates on plastic bins and it just looked so elevated and it was really cute. We just like dressed up. It was like completely low key, but I love that with the people in your life you can choose to have more fun and like be joyous and celebratory even if there's like no reason. And I'm really grateful that when I really dropped the ball on my social life, there are like my friends are so adamant and good at keeping up with it, and I love that I don't have to be the one to always initiate everything with my friends, because growing up I kind of felt like that friend that would just get forgotten if you're not the one inserting your life into theirs, and they're very like whatever and convenient. But yeah, like I love my chosen family now who really show me that they value our togetherness and our time, and they can like pick up the slack of planning everything and I kind of just have to show up. So I really had a lot of fun there. July was literally 4 weeks of table sales every weekend. So yesterday marked my 15th event ever at San Francisco Renegade, and it was so good. I'm so happy because my mom's boyfriend built us a booth, and it was like my dream of having a wooden like official furniture set up, and I thought it looked really good. So I'm just really grateful to have that vision and then have it be executed, because genuinely people are just like volunteering and helping my business because they believe in it or because they're just kind. And lastly, I lost my phone. I lost my phone last week. I was like biking on City Bike like a crazy person and it fell when I docked. Somebody found it when they went to unlock the bike later, and I didn't even realize I lost my phone for a few hours until like the sun was going down. I used Tam's phone because we work together. I used her phone. I saw my location was like miles away. I was like, oh my god, somebody is gonna like sell my phone. I don't know. But I called it. Somebody picked up. A woman found it. She was getting a pedicure. She was like, I'm gonna be here for an hour. You can come and get it. And it turns out that another friend of mine called the phone. She talked to him and they were gonna arrange for her to like come to my boutique and give me the phone. So either way, I'm just like, people are looking out for me. Angels. I'm so grateful. The funniest thing is that after I picked up the phone, Tam and I bumped into this Italian street festival and we had so much fun. It was like an impromptu little festival and fair. We got ice cream and then we went back to the office. So life is just really spontaneous, and my summer has been fun even though it's been mostly work. I'm going to close off the video and just saying that a piece of advice that has helped me lately is to realize that it's not about seeking balance, it's about seeking harmony. So it really doesn't matter if you spend all your time working, as long as it really fuels you and makes you feel like your cup is full, you know? So with that, I will leave you. I might not come back with another video just next week because I have a new series coming and I need a little bit of time to work on it. So I hope that you enjoyed this for now, and I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye. Wait, P.S. I never explained the fork. So at my second to last table sale, Vince brought me lunch and the fork couldn't fit into the Tupperware. So after I finished the food and we were packing up, I was like really busy talking to other vendors and he was just wrapping up, and I think he decided that the only place the fork could go is inside my bag. So I've just had a dirty fork in my bag for like 2 weeks. But look, now I can eat my fish.